Hello guys, it's finally here, my Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice movie review. And by the way, we will not be doing any spoilers in the beginning, but at a certain point, I will be talking with spoilers. Just letting you know, a fair warning. This is a half not spoiler review, half spoiler review. First part of my non-spoiler review, I'm going to rate the film from 1 to 10. I've seen it a total of 2 times. I'm going tomorrow on Easter Sunday for the 3rd time in XD. It's a great experience, a great way to watch films. It's basically a brand off of IMAX, pretty much. And we all know IMAX is better, but XD is second place for me, in my opinion. So, when I first watched Batman v Superman, I came out giving it a 9. A solid 9. The second time I watched it, I gave it about an 8.5 because I noticed some things that really didn't work well with me. The only thing that probably didn't work well was the pacing, but I'll get more in depth about that. The next part I'm going to be talking about my non-spoiler review is going to be what I really loved about this movie. And here it is. Ben Affleck is the best on-screen presence of Batman and Bruce Wayne. I mean, this guy, he just kept on with the pace of the role of Bruce Wayne. Not just that, obviously he blew the park out of Batman. That one scene obviously you saw in the trailer where they're in the warehouse and he's just pummeling them. It's literally straight out of the Arkham video games. Like, if anybody doesn't say that he at least did an amazing job, I understand if you still think Christian Bale is the best one or Michael Keaton, that's your opinion, but for me and a majority of a lot of people, Ben Affleck is the best on-screen presence of Batman. I don't honestly know why so many people are saying Henry Cavill's acting for Superman is so wooden in this film, because he is so much better with his lines, the delivery and how his acting is on those lines, and just these scenes of just raw emotion of, you can just feel, okay, spoilers, sorry, I'm not going to say anything, sorry, just, when you see it, you'll understand. That's all I'm going to say. He just brought so much emotion in a couple scenes that I saw, especially one with Lois Lane. There is a great scene with them. And even with Ben Affleck's Batman. Oh my gosh. I can't even get into it. Sorry. Non-spoilers. My bad. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is possibly the most controversial casting and acting I've seen in a film. And I loved it. That's all I'm gonna say. I loved his version. It was a very new take on the Lex Luthor character, because we've seen many versions from the Smallville show. He is personally one of my favorite Lex Luthors. That guy's amazing. Superman Returns, very brief. Supporting characters, yes, they're very good. That's one thing I kind of didn't like. They were just kind of felt like they were just filling space and time. But Lawrence Fishburne, he was really good. For the lines that he had and the time that he had, I thought he did a really good job for what he had. And that's all for the supporting characters and actors. Now, this will be my spoiler review. So just letting you know, I am warning you. Spoilers starting now. So, Superman died. That took guts. Not that ending though. Oh my gosh. If you've seen the movie, obviously, wait, you guys should not be watching this section if you haven't seen it. Just letting you know. Don't. Go away. But that scene with the dirt, when it lifts just for like half a second, I loved it. That ending was so ballsy. It took a lot of guts for them to do that ending, especially for a superhero film, for their second DC film universe. Oh my gosh. That is one of my favorite comic book endings. And, okay, let's get into my favorite moment of Batman v Superman. A lot of people will say their favorite moment is either, obviously, the fight scene between Batman and Superman. And that scene was amazing. One of the best comic book fight scenes of all time. I'm not even lying. The scene with Batman beating up those thugs, that was just a fraction that you saw in the trailer. The whole scene, holy crap. That was literally Batman fighting. He literally, oh my gosh, there's a scene with the grapple gun. He shoots it at somebody, freaking attaches it to their shoulder, and then he pulls it. While he's pulling him, he just punches him right in the face. That's literally straight out of the Arkham video game. One of the freaking most amazing scenes with Batman ever. Okay, here's my favorite scene of Batman v Superman. And it is the opening to first 10 minutes. That is probably the best beginning / 10 minutes of a comic book film that I've ever watched. What it was Bruce Wayne's origin. While he's the opening is the funeral for Martha Wayne and his father, Bruce Wayne's father, and you see him running, and obviously he falls down into the pit, where obviously he sees the bats, and that's how he becomes Batman. Like not that exactly how he becomes Batman, but this is the start. And then while they're doing that, it's going back and forth to the scene when his parents died, and it was one of the most beautiful scenes and most tragic at the same time. Zack Snyder, kudos to you, man. That opening was phenomenal. I will never forget that scene. I literally just want to watch that scene right now, because the way he filmed it, the way the gun was just around Martha's necklace, and when he pulled the trigger, the pearls just broke. That was, oh my gosh. I can go on hours on that scene. And the scene in Metropolis, all I'll say is it was everything that I wanted and more. It was emotional. There was a scene with Bruce Wayne talking to somebody while the building's about to collapse. He's saying a prayer to God, and he says, "And the Father," I think it's the Lord's Prayer. I don't know which one it was, but the way they filmed it was so captivating. When the building's all getting lasered up by General Zod and it's falling down, you see just Bruce Wayne's reaction. And honestly, I've never felt so much like... I never felt so much sadness and depression in a superhero film. This is one of the most darkest comic book films of all time. And honestly, kids, you're gonna get bored of this movie. This movie is not for kids. This movie is the most adult comic book film. And what I mean by that is that it's the most mature, and it's also a political movie. And I don't get why critics gave it a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. I will never forgive you for that, critics. I don't understand you. Really, I mean, it's your opinion, but there's a reason why it's 74% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's probably going to go down to 70, honestly, at the end. But that just proves to me that no one gives a crap what the critics think. And it's still going to make around $180 million, $190, possibly even $200 million. You know why? Because fans or movie people who just love watching movies don't care what the critics say. And I feel like it's a time for a change that we notice, and I need to notice in myself, that the critics are not always right. In the end, I'm going to give Batman v Superman a solid B+. I love the movie. Yes, there are some flaws with the pacing in the film, but overall, I thought the acting was amazing. The script was really, really well done, in my opinion. Yes, you could say it was all over the place, but in my opinion, I feel like that's what a comic book is like. It's all over the place, and that's exactly what Zack Snyder did. He might have, in specific scenes, he might have thought one way, and now when he actually watches it, he can understand why some people think it's a little bit too fast. Like specifically with the scene when Batman drops the spear, the kryptonite spear, into the ground and immediately goes to the scene where he turns on the bat light staring into the sky. That was a little bit too fast for my opinion. I kind of wanted to savor that moment, but you know, it's his vision. Overall, great movie. Watch it 3 or 4 times. Buy it on Blu-ray. I can't wait for the unrated, actually rated R cut. That is 3 hours long, and I think that'll be a way better version than the one we got in the theaters. So you guys have a great day. Go watch Batman v Superman. See you later, movie nerds.